am Sister Vivian Mary Louette. I was born August 23, 1918, at Conway, Arkansas, and baptized Lucille Maria Louette at St. Joseph's Church, Conway, Arkansas. I grew up with 6 brothers and 4 sisters. In our family, when we reached the age of 5 years, we started going to church so that we would know how to behave in church when we started to school at the age of 6 years. The first time I went to church, I remembered seeing a whole pew of Notre Dame sisters up front where the grade school girls usually sat. On the way home, I said to my mother, "I'm going to be a sister when I grow up." My mother replied, "We'll see." My mother encouraged me all through childhood and early teenage years. She also let me know about things that sisters wouldn't do or say, especially in my teenage years. After 2 years of high school at St. Joseph's High School, Conway, a friend of mine who had finished high school and who had relatives in Atkins, Arkansas, knew Sister Raphael Arts, a member of St. Scholastica's monastery, and she had invited me to go with her to St. Scholastica's convent, Fort Smith, Arkansas, to witness the investiture and profession ceremonies on June the 24th, 1934. My friend's parents took us. We were so impressed with the ceremonies that we went to Mother Perpetua and put in our personal application to enter in the fall. How daring. When I returned home, I told Mom what I had done and asked her if she would tell Dad. She seemed happy enough, but she said, "No, you'll have to tell him yourself." So I did. He didn't like the idea because he thought I was too young to leave home, but he didn't object. The summer was spent getting things ready and packed to go. On August the 30th, 1934, the feast of St. Rose of Lima, I, with 4 other girls from Conway and family members, traveled to Fort Smith, Arkansas. We stopped about halfway at a roadside park and had a picnic lunch together. On arrival in front of the convent building, my brother-in-law teased us, saying, "Wipe off the lipstick and the rouge," and so forth. We looked around, we looked up at the tall building and saw white-veiled nuns staring out the windows on the 3rd floor. They were supposed to be washing windows in the academy library in preparation for the opening of school in September. We were invited inside by Sister Catherine Boyster. We said our goodbyes and our folks returned to their homes. By the way, there was a 6th girl who was supposed to enter at the same time, but she came a week earlier and became so homesick that she went home with our folks when they returned home. During the first year, a family member or 2 from the 5 families came every Sunday, brought picnic lunch to check on the 5 from Conway. First time they came, my mother was in the group. She was happy with how she saw I was adapting, and when she returned home, my dad asked, "How is she?" Mom said, "You go the next time and see for yourself." A couple of weeks later, Dad came. When he returned home, Mom asked the question. He said, "She's okay. She's happy. I think she'll be all right." The first year as postulant, I went to school with the academy girls. I was invested as a novice on June the 24th, 1935. The next 2 years were novitiate years. The first year was a canonical year, during which we had intense training in the rule of St. Benedict and other religious subjects. During the second year of novitiate, we went to classes with the academy girls, if we had need for high school credits for graduation. I needed 2 subjects, which I took, plus an extension college course from Arkansas State Teachers College, Conway. On June 24th, 1937, I made profession of temporary vows for 3 years. During this time, I spent 1 year at McGee, Arkansas, teaching pre-primer, 1st and 2nd grades in the 1st semester. Sister Fidelis, who taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grades, became ill and went to St. Joseph's Hospital in Boonville, Missouri. So Sister Laureen taught grades 5 through 8. We dropped the pre-primer, and I taught grades 1 through 4 in the 2nd semester. From September 1938 to May 1941, I taught the middle grades in Moberly, Missouri. On June 24th, 1940, I made profession of perpetual vows. From June 1941 to January 1943, I was receptionist at St. Joseph's Hospital, Boonville, Missouri. Then I was transferred to Prairie View, Arkansas, a wing school of Scranton, Arkansas public school, to take the head teacher's duties since she became disabled. I taught at Prairie View from January 1943 to May 1946, at Scranton from September 1946 to May 1952, and at Subiaco from September 1952 to May 1964. Then I was transferred to St. Boniface in Fort Smith, Arkansas, where I served as principal and 7th and 8th grade science and arts teacher for 29 years. That was 1964 to 1993. The last year that I was missioned at St. Boniface, there was no one to live with me there, so I lived at St. Scholastica's Monastery and commuted to St. Boniface. While on the way home on April 23, 1993, I had an accident, and that ended my educational career. Sister Elise was elected prioress in June 1993, and she asked me to go to St. Joseph's Home, North Little Rock, to take Sister Norbert's place as administrator of the daycare so that Sister Norbert could come to St. Scholastica's Monastery to teach in the initial formation program. I went to St. Joseph's Home in August 1993. I was administrator and soon had to be directress of the daycare, which closed in August 1997. I was then appointed hostess of St. Joseph's Home and to be there as a companion with Sister Dolores Vincent, whose ministry was to the elderly and sick of St. Patrick's and St. Mary's parishes in North Little Rock, Arkansas. The property and building belong to the Diocese of Little Rock. The building is being used by different groups for religious programs such as retreats, crucijos, Kairos planning, Kairos outside, encuentros, and food service to the poor. After 100 years of service to St. Joseph's Orphanage and Home, the Sisters of St. Scholastica's Monastery left because of lack of personnel to host it. If any of you young ladies are discerning your vocation in life, please consider and discern the vocation of religious life. Come and see if the Lord is calling you to journey with us. Thank you.